Well, hi everyone, and welcome along to today's webinar. My name is Roshni, and I am part of the customer team here at SuiteFiles. So the team here over at Suite HQ are really excited to be launching SuiteFiles Connect on Monday, and today's session is going to give you an overview of what you can expect when it lands next week. So what exactly is SuiteFiles Connect? Well, it's our answer to the client portal, one of our most requested features. So it's going to allow you to turn an existing folder in your SuiteFiles site into a connected folder. And your customers will be able to log into SuiteFiles Connect, a platform that we've built especially for them. So they can create folders and files, upload files, and even edit them. So these changes are going to be reflected back into SuiteFiles for you. So you'll also be able to request files from your customers and have them come back into SuiteFiles in your selected folder. So not even necessarily into that connected folder. So we're pretty excited to show you around today. And what we're going to cover is the process of creating a connected folder in SuiteFiles. So you're turning that folder that exists already into a connected folder that you'll then send across to your customer. We'll also cover off file requests and a little preview of the review, edit, and approve process for files. We'll then log in and take a look at the new SuiteFiles Connect platform. So that's what we've built especially for your customers. It's free for them to use, and we'll take you for a bit of a tour around that. Now, as you're sharing all of your connected folders with the world, you'll want a way to manage that back in SuiteFiles. So I'll take you through the management process there. And we'll have a little bit of time at the end to cover off document signing as well. One of the great things about the SuiteFiles Connect platform is that as you're sending documents out to be signed by your clients, they'll also be able to access any of the signed documents back in Connect. So I'll take you through the document signing process as well for those that have not seen that before. There'll be time for Q&A, of course, at the end, and then we'll have a little chat about how, if it's interesting to you, how you would be able to get started with Connect. So if you stay till the end, you'll also get a little bit of a special offer that we're going to be offering to all of you today. Okay, so let's take a look. So to do that, I'm going to jump into my SuiteFiles site here. So the ability to create a connected folder just happens straight in SuiteFiles as you would expect. So here I have one of my clients, Waffles Co, and you can see I've got my standard folder structure that I work in every day. Now, if I'm wanting to share a folder with my client, then what I can do is create a subfolder, first of all, in SuiteFiles. So that might be called Waffles Connected Folder. So that's just what it will look like at your end. Now we can click Create on that. And then we have the option to now share this folder as a connected folder. So what we do is click on that there, and you can share an empty folder with your client. You might have some files that you want to add into that folder before you share that with them. It's really flexible in terms of what you can do with those documents inside that folder. Now you'll need to fill in a few details first before we can turn that into a connected folder and share that with your client. So first of all, you'll be entering a display name for them. So while you may have called it something specific at your end so that you can keep track of it, we'll be calling it something else at our end. So let's just say my company name here is Abacus Accounting, and I'm just going to call that a connected folder. So that's up to you what you call it. This, I'll show you how that ends up at the SuiteFiles Connect users end in a moment. So you'll also share the folder with an email address. So you'll need to enter in your contact's email address. So we're going to be releasing a new contact picker. So that will basically allow you to fetch your contacts if they're stored in, say, Xero Practice Manager or Workflow Max. That will feed into this form. Right now, I'm just going to type out my client's name here, my client's email address rather, and my client is using Gmail. So pop that email address in there, and you also have the option to set an expiry date. So that's going to be the date at which my client Mitzi is no longer able to access the connected folder. I can also leave that open-ended if I would like, and I can come back into the management screen at any time and pop an expiry date in there. So right now, I'm just going to leave that open. Now, before I share that with my client, it's just really important to note that anything that is contained within this folder right now, that is going to be visible by this external party. So Word documents, PDF files, anything that is filed within that, including folders, subfolders, and their contents, it's going to be shared with that external user. So provided we're happy to do that, then we'll click Save on that, and that's going to create the connected folder, and an invitation will be sent out to your client. So I can now close this. And another thing that's going to happen for any of your connected folders in SuiteFiles is that you'll be able to really easily see at a glance that the connected folder has actually been shared. So we've got introduced a new icon there that just shows that this particular folder has been shared externally. Now let's take a look at the emails that our customers will see. So they'll receive an invitation email the very first time. So in this case here, we have the new connected folder that has been shared with my client. So they'll be able to, the very first time, open up this form. Now it's probably going to log me in. No, it hasn't. But the very first time that your customer signs in or is shared a folder, or maybe you've shared sent a file upload request to them, then they will be able to, they'll receive an email notification, at which point they'll be prompted to set up an account with SuiteFiles Connect. Now, one of the great things about Connect is that if your customers are currently using Xero, or if they've got Google credentials, then they'll be able to log into SuiteFiles Connect with those credentials. So it saves them having to remember yet another set of username and passwords for yet another site. So we're really happy to come on board with the Xero single sign-on solution that you can see here. And if they do have Xero, they'll just be able to click through that process, and even if they've got two-factor authentication set up for their Xero account, they'll be able to log in and pop in that authentication code, and they'll be up and away. In my customer's case, I've actually already set them up with, well, I've invited them with their Gmail account, so they would have gone through the process of setting up with their Google credentials. You can as well, of course, enter in an email address. We'll just ask for a few details from them, such as their first name, last name, and then get them all set up with their own account. So they'll be able to go through the process of creating a password, and then from that point forward, they will be able to log in to SuiteFiles Connect. So what we'll do now is I'll just log in. So my particular client has already logged into SuiteFiles Connect before. So I'm just going to jump into this login screen here, and you can see that for the Google sign-in option, we're going to just go through that process of logging in. I'm actually already logged in to Connect or into my Gmail account in the browser, so it's automatically logged me in, which is great. Now, what your client will be prompted to when they first log in and logged into Connect and you've shared a folder with them, they'll be pointed to this screen here. So what they can do is click through to that folder and they'll be able to upload any documents. They can even create documents directly within this folder for you. So let's say the scenario is that we have set this folder up for them to just upload documents throughout the financial year, or maybe even just for this month. Maybe you need them to upload some documents for you. They will be able to click on the upload button here. They can add files by clicking the add option, or they can simply drag and drop files into this space here. So if we pop in some documents, for example, that's now being uploaded into SuiteFiles Connect. And we can also add multiple files at the same time, but I'm just going to pop this one into the connected folder here. And for things like Word documents, you will also have the ability to edit those. So I'll show you that shortly. So back at the SuiteFiles end, if we jump back into that folder now, we'll be able to see that that file has been uploaded for us. Now, if I was to upload a document or create a Word document within the SuiteFiles end, let's take a look at what that looks like. So if I just drag and drop this Word document that I have sitting around and pop that into the connected folder, then at the other end in SuiteFiles Connect, your client, in my case Mitzi, will be able to see that folder, or see that file rather, when they refresh that screen. So here I will be able to preview the Word document. So this is all opening up in Word Online, and they can even open the file in Office Online. Now, if they have a business account, they'll be prompted to log in with those details. In my case, I think I'm already logged in with my credentials, so I will be able to jump into the document, and this is, let's say, making some edits. And that's just going to save back up to that document. It's exactly the same file that you have in SuiteFiles as well. So once that's now been closed, then that's going to update for both of you. Now, if we now go and preview that, we can see those edits have taken effect, and then back into SuiteFiles, we can see that exact edit has made it back into the same document and at my end. Okay, so what else can we do in Connect? So another option that you have available to you, and this doesn't necessarily have to originate from within the connected folder at your end, but you can request files from your clients. So let's say, for example, I need to request a document from my client Mitzi. In SuiteFiles, I'll be able to hit the Create button. And then here we have the option to create a file request. So this is a little bit more of a preview of what the new contact picker is going to look like for you all. Now, I do have my client Mitzi available to me in my Xero Practice Manager. So she's loaded in as a client there. So it is going to pop up as an option for me. I'm going to select this option, so Workflow Max, also known as Xero Practice Manager. That logo is going to appear for me there. So it's pulling through all of the details that I have on file for my client, and then I can click on Next. And we can enter in the file that we are requesting. So for example, if I'm wanting bank statements from July 2019, I can set that as effectively the subject line in Connect, and then enter in my message. So you can customize that message in this space if you want to, and then you can also set an expiry date as well. So you can select an option from the calendar drop-down, or you can just leave that open indefinitely if you wish. So then that's going to send the file request off to your client. Again, they will receive an email notification letting them know that they have a new file request waiting for them in Connect. Now, again, if this is the very first interaction that you're having with your client using SuiteFiles Connect, then they'll, as part of this process, be prompted to set up their account for the first time. But otherwise, all they'll need to do is click on the open link, and here we are prompted to the tasks area in Connect. So your clients are going to have the option to either browse your folders. So this is going to be now called folders in the Connect interface for your clients, and the tasks view as well. So if you are sending them a file request, if you're sending them a file to edit, approve, or review, that's going to end up in their tasks list. Now, if we click on that task here, we can see a full history of what has happened so far with this document. We can see what it is that I'm requesting from my client. See that no files have been uploaded to date. See that it's been sent by my accountant, Roshni, and when it was sent. So even the message will come through as a chat message, and Mitzi has the option now to view and navigate her system to find the document that I have requested. So in this case, I'm going to just upload that bank statement there and click done on that. So that's going to now be, I'm going to receive a notification myself that that has now been uploaded, and my client can just send me a little note saying that's all done. And send that off to me. Now, your client also has the ability to mark that task as done. And so we can do that. Now that's just going to clear that from their list of tasks to do for you. And I did request it to be added back into this connected folder here. So if I refresh that page, you can see now that that bank statement has been added into that folder. Now, one of the other things that we have been that will change with the introduction of SuiteFiles Connect is that the tasks view at your end is going to change. So just like you saw at the Connect end, the tasks view very much looks like an inbox. It's sort of a to-do list of sorts, and you have the ability to chat back and forth with your customer. Now, if we jump back into SuiteFiles and take a look at the tasks view, we can see here that I've received a notification that that upload has taken place. So I can see a running commentary of what's happened with that particular file. Now I've requested it, it's been uploaded. I can also preview it from my end just to make sure that it's looking good, and that's the file that I wanted. And you can see here that that's been marked as completed by my client. Now, most importantly, I have the overall say as to whether or not that, that file request has in fact been completed. So you can see here that I have the ability to close the task, or if I'm not happy, they sent me maybe something from 2018, I can reopen the task and reinitiate that task at their end. But I'm pretty happy with what I've got. I can click on that file here and be taken directly to that document within the folder that I requested it from. But what I'm going to do here is just close that task, and that will clear it from my list as well. So you'll see a few changes coming through the tasks area. Just keep an eye on that. That's probably going to look a little bit different from Monday morning for you all. So you don't have to search, or you don't have to initiate a folder request or a file upload request from the folder that you've shared with them. If I wanted them to pop a document into, say, my permanent folder, I would also be able to create a file request from this location, send the same similar thing. So let's just say cake receipt here. And click save. That's going to again send a message across, they can access it from their inbox, but if they're already in Connect, then they'll receive that notification coming through for their receipt. So again, I'm going to add that file. I've got my cake receipt right here waiting for them, and I can upload that, hit done, and mark is done at my end. And then back in SuiteFiles, I'll be able to refresh that folder. I can see that the cake receipt has now been uploaded for me into the folder of my choosing. So this particular file won't be shared with my client long term. It's just a one-off file request. I get it to be filed into the place that I want it to be filed in SuiteFiles, and I don't have to worry about moving things around. So a couple of different ways that you can interact with SuiteFiles Connect. You can either create that shared folder and have everyone pop documents into there throughout the year, or you can use it to share files to them in that same folder. Otherwise, the file request option is great because you can do it from either place. Now, if you had a document that you wanted to have them review, we will also have the option to, from the three dots alongside each of your files, you will also be able to initiate a review request. So for example, if you just wanted your client to review this document, that will sit as a task for them in Connect, and they'll be able to mark that as being reviewed, and you'll get the ability to chat back and forth with them. So this is just going to be changing ever so slightly before Monday, so we'll be able to show you that then. But for now, just know that we'll be introducing the ability to review documents, edit, and also approve. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you at the SuiteFiles Connect end. So now that we have a couple of our connected folders shared with our clients, we're likely going to want to keep track of everything. So at the SuiteFiles end for you, we have also created a area within the More dropdown for connected folders, and that's going to give you the ability to just keep track of everything. So in the list that we're looking at here, we can see the name of the folder that has been shared. So that's what's shared at your customer's end or your client's end. So here's the latest one that I've just shared called the Abacus Accounting Connected folder, and we can see the file path there and who it was created by, the member of your team it was created by, and when it was created. You can see also that we have quite a few that are open-ended in terms of they don't have an expiry date set. So if I wanted to go ahead and add an expiry date for this connected folder, so the date at which my client can no longer access the folder, then I can come into my folder settings here and I can choose a date either from 60 days from today, 90 days from today, or I can select that a different date from the calendar drop down here. So it's going to the end of June 2020. So that will be updated there. Now, in terms of users, you do have the ability to add multiple users from this end here. So I can select the add user option and give access to new people external to my organization. I can also remove user access on a case-by-case basis. And then here we have activity that is specific to this particular connected folder. So you can see here that the document had been created or uploaded by my client, and that they also modified the Word document that I had uploaded there. You can also see a broader overview of the recent activity by jumping into this area here. So you can see here the full background of what my client has been up to. So she's been quite busy uploading and creating and modifying files in Connect. And then finally, in terms of your external or connected users, you'll be able to see their email addresses listed here, their name, company they're associated to, and how many connected folders they currently have access to. So you can also view the connected folders from within here and edit them as well. So speaking of editing, so if you do have any questions, by the way, then please feel free to add them to the Q&A section as well. So you should hopefully find that in the Zoom webinar panel. And as I mentioned, that we will have time for questions and answers later on in the session today. So in terms of editing, I'm actually going to jump back into my client folder. And I'll show you what happens when you are, say, creating a document for signing. So I will actually use some different credentials, I think, because I just don't have full history for my client in Xero Practice Manager right now, which I need to resolve. But let's say you are creating a new document and you actually need your client to sign it for you. So I'll take you through now an example of how you can use SuiteFiles document signing. Now, I'm going to create a file from a template and I'm going to pick my letter and I'm going to just select some info for one of my clients, 99 Corporation. And here under Enter Field Values, I am going to just make a few changes to that information. So I want to sign the document rather than Andrew, and I'm going to address the letter to my client, Mitzi. So we'll create that letter from a file template, and we do have the option to, of course, make some changes or make some checks to this before we send it off, but I'm pretty happy with what I can see from that preview. So I'm going to now request my client's signature. Now, with SuiteFiles document signing, it is built into SuiteFiles. It is something that we ourselves and our dev team here in Wellington have built from the ground up. So it's something that you can use directly from within SuiteFiles. You don't have to leave SuiteFiles in order to get the document set up for signing. Now, you can also see that I've started off with a Word document. So any file that is either a Word document or if you have a PDF that's already marked up and ready to go, you will be able to use SuiteFiles document signing with either of those file types. So you can see here as part of my letter, I have created some space in order for me to place the signature fields that I'll apply during the signature document signing preparation process. So here I'm going to click the request signature button. Okay, and this has now turned it into a PDF. So if you are starting off with a PDF document in SuiteFiles, then what you'll see is the document signing dropdown. So what you can do here is you've got a few options. So you have the ability to sign and save the document. So that will, if it's something that I just need to sign myself and have that filed back into SuiteFiles, then that is the option that I would choose. If you have your client information stored in, say, Xero Practice Manager or Workflow Max, and you have connected SuiteFiles to either of those applications, then you'll be able to pick your contacts from the using the quick sign option. And then if you don't have those details stored in XPM or Workflow Max, then you'll be able to use the advanced signing option where you'll be able to add your signer's details from scratch and also include a CC recipient. So you can add multiple signers in either the quick sign or advanced sign option. The advanced sign option would just be if you didn't have all of those people's details stored in Xero Practice Manager or Workflow Max. The CC recipient option is great if you have someone that needs to see the final signed copy of the document, but they don't necessarily need to sign the document themselves. So I'm going to use the quick sign option here. And again, I'm going to send that across to my client, Mitzi, and select her as the recipient. Now, in terms of adding those signature fields, you can see in the on the left-hand side of my screen, I now have these signature fields available to me to apply to my document. So first of all, it's defaulted to myself. So if I need to sign the document, I would click my signature field and just place that on the letter as so. Now, in terms of my client, I would need to switch them from the drop down there and then click signature, place it on the document, their full name, place that there, and then the date signed. So those are the fields that I want my client to complete, and you can pick those fields up and move them around. If you want to, you can select them all and align them vertically, just if you're wanting them all in a nice straight line. So you can do lots of moving around to get them in the right spot for you. Now you can also enable what we call SMS verification. So if you have their mobile number, so in either the quick sign option or the advanced sign option, you have the ability to link that person with a mobile phone number. So for the quick sign option, because that person's contact details are stored in XPM or Workflow Max, we'll be fetching the contact phone number from the mobile field for that contact in that system. So you just need to follow the convention of putting in the plus. For most of you, it'll be +61, I assume, or +64. Enter in the country code with a plus in front of it. That will ensure that your clients will receive the SMS verification. So what that means is that before they complete the signing process at their end, they'll receive a text message on their mobile phone, and that will give them a code that they'll enter in just to validate and verify their identity. So you can customize the message that gets sent out to your clients. And as you can see here, you can enable the SMS verification if you want to. I'm just going to hit save on that. And that's now processing that signature request and sending off the relevant email notifications to your clients. So one of the things that's going to happen for you at your end is that you can now jump into the document signing management screen, and under the list here, the very first list that you see, you'll see a history of all of the documents that you've had out for signing. In this particular case, I've just got one that's in progress, and that's the one that I've just prepared. Now, if I had more than one signer and one person had signed it and one was yet to, that progress bar would be shaded in half blue, so you can keep track of where everything is at. On the left-hand side here, you can filter based on the different statuses of your signatures. So for example, under the completed option, you have the ability to view the history of that document right down to the SMS verification being sent and attempted until it's finally signed and saved back into SuiteFiles for you. You can also custom brand the outgoing emails that your customers receive through SuiteFiles document signing, as well as the interface that they see when they actually sign the document as well. So you can select a primary and a secondary color so that you can customize that banner and the buttons, and you also have the ability to upload your logo in a PNG format. So if you are going to be doing custom branding for your documents, just note that we do recommend a PNG image with a transparent background. That will make sure that any color that you pick as the background color, it will make sure that your logo really pops on that background. So you can toggle the website between website and email to see what your customer will see at their end. Okay, so let's just jump back into our client's inbox. They'll receive a message saying that their their signature has been requested, and they can then go ahead and review that document. So here they'll just need to click continue. They can scroll right down to the point at which they need to sign in the document. They can sign here, pop their name there and the date there. Now, we've also recently introduced the ability to customize your signature. So during the beta process, that was possibly the #1 request that we received. So we have gone ahead and given the ability to customize the signature for your client. They will be able to click the Customize My Signature button, and if they've got a really steady hand with their mouse, they can scribble on this field here, and that's going to save their signature to any document that they're going to sign now and in future through SuiteFiles document signing. So we'll remember that and save that against their profile. Now, if they don't have a steady hand or they don't have a touchscreen computer that they're working on, such as a Microsoft Surface Pro, then what they can do is opt to set up their custom signature using mobile. So what this would entail is that that's going to prompt them with a QR code that they can then scan on using the camera app on their phone. So I'm just going to give this a go here. That's going to bring up a link and bring them to a page on their phone where they can customize their signature. So I'm just going to type or draw Mitzi with my finger and then complete that on my cell phone. Click complete on that, and here is my client's custom signature now attached to that document in SuiteFiles. So if they had also been sent an SMS or SMS verification was enabled by you for them, then once they click sign document, then it's going to ask them to enter that verification code. I didn't set it up for this one, but that just means that they can skip that step, and that's going to process the document, and everyone is now going to receive a signed copy of the doc. Now back at the SuiteFiles end, for you, what can you see? So let's just jump into the document signing management screen again. Oh, I'm already in it. And if we click on completed, you can see now that that particular file has been completed. And I can also click on that document and be taken to that the final signed PDF. So that's going to, oh, that's not the right one. Okay, so let me just, oh, it's still in progress. So it's still processing in the background. But once that has been signed, that's going to then be saved back into the client folder. So let's just jump in to that engagement folder that we created the document from. Let me just, oh, it's now completed. Okay. So if we now click on that document, that's going to now show you that final signed document. It's going to stamp that file in the bottom left corner, record the user's IP address. Back in SuiteFiles as well, as you recall, we will also be able to view the history of that document signing process. And from the 3 dots, we can also show that source PDF. And we can see that in SuiteFiles, we can follow the entire process or the change or the history of that file. So we started off with a Word document that we then converted into this PDF file. So that's the blank file ready for signing, and up till the ultimately signed copy of that document with that stamp and her custom signature. So that's SuiteFiles document signing 101. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about that, then please feel free to let me know via the Q&A section. We still have time, plenty of time for questions now that we've essentially wrapped up everything that I wanted to show you today. So we can also see now that we have connected with Mitzi, that they would be also able to go into SuiteFiles Connect, and they would always have a copy of anything that they have signed through SuiteFiles document signing with you, and they'll be able to open that file from there. So they'll always have a copy of that available to them via email. We'll send them a signed copy of that same document, but as they're a Connect user, they now get access to those signed documents from within Connect. Okay, so any questions? I've seen a fair few coming through the Q&A section in the chat in the last wee while. So we'll just take a moment and I'll take a look through those and we'll answer some of those that have come through. Okay, so I'll just read them out and I'll answer what I can as we go. So we have, Bridget has asked, will clients be able to delete documents in the connected folder, or is there a way to lock files so that they can't be deleted or edited? So that's a really good question. So back in SuiteFiles Connect, let's just take a look at what options your client has available to them. So if we were to say we've got this bank statement highlighted at the moment, you can see here that now it's been uploaded to Connect. Under other actions, they only have the ability to download a copy of the file, rename it, or move it around only within this folder. So if they'd basically created a subfolder, they would be able to move it into that folder. As for the Word documents, everyone can edit documents in the Office online if they've got credentials to do so. Now, under other actions, all they have the ability to do is download a copy. So we don't want them to be able to delete files. You'll likely see the ability to archive files. They'll be able to archive files, but that's just going to be for more or less for their view only. So we don't want them to be deleting things out of your SuiteFiles. So delete's not going to be possible. In terms of, I guess, permissions overall, just keep in mind that right now, what happens is that if you turn something into a connected folder, so I was in the wrong folder this time. So if we go into the Waffles folder, you can see that these are the files within this folder. That client will always have access to those files unless you were to yourself go ahead and move them out of that folder or delete them. So you have full rights as to what you do with the files that you have in SuiteFiles, whereas they themselves do not. We will be introducing the ability to lock down permissions to all of the files in a particular folder, but right now not on an individual file by file basis. So I hope that helps answer your question, Bridget, and I think a lot of people have the similar question there, so thanks so much for asking that one. So Daniela asks, is there any form of antivirus check that occurs on the files when a client uploads them? That's a really good question, Daniela. I don't know that off the top of my head, so I will definitely check that out with our team just to make sure that that's really, really clear. We do have file size limits, file upload limits, and file type limits that we'll be publishing to our help center, and we'll be sure to let everyone know the details around that from Monday. So Seb has asked whether or not you can add more than one email address to connected folders. Okay, so it looks like I have been muted for some time. I apologize that I might have been answering questions that you didn't even have the ability to hear me say. So I'll just sort of skip through those again for everyone that has still managed to stay on the call for this long. I'm impressed. Now, the questions have been around deleting documents. So can we delete documents in a connected folder? So the answer to that is they cannot. So your clients will not be able to delete folders or files from the Connect end. Now, if we were to jump into, I was jumping into the Word document. You probably saw me squiggling around on the screen here. They have the ability to download a copy or they can, for Word documents, rather, they will be able to PDFs they can download, rename, and move. For this Word document, they will be able to edit the file. So right now, everyone has, if it's a Word document, they'd be able to edit the document in Office Online. They can, for Word documents, download a copy of that as well. So we've tried to keep it limited in terms of what your customers will be able to do at the Connect end. They'll be able to upload, they'll be able to create a folder, Word document, Excel, PowerPoint, or plain text file from scratch from within Connect. If there's an existing file that either yourself or they have uploaded and they have continued access to this connected folder, they will be able to perform the other actions that you can see from the drop downs here. So they won't be able to delete, but you would be able to have the full reign in terms of what you're used to, in terms of what you can do in SuiteFiles. So that would be deleting or moving or copying those files from your end. So fair few people have asked about deleting and editing permissions and the like. Just keep in mind that anything within this connected folder that I've shared with my customer will be fully editable based on the functions that you've seen me take you through today at the Connect end. Oh, so Marius did say that they heard everything, so that is okay. That's good. All right, well, I'll skip ahead to a few other questions. So Seb had also asked, can you use your logo on the invite sent to the client? So you have seen that we have the ability to custom brand the emails going out for document signing. While we don't have the ability to do that right now for Connect, that's not to say that we are not going to make that available, but we just don't have that available right now. And can you ask more than one question at a time through Connect? So I guess with the file upload request, once that has been submitted out to your clients, so say for example, even though they have completed that, you'll be able to reopen the task, reopen a task or create a new task from a file and enter your message. So you should be able to continue to collaborate with your clients using the tasks view there. So when a connected folder has been created, if the client uploads a document, would we get a notification? Yes, so you'll get notifications via email as well as in the tasks and an app. So all of those notification types will be rolling out upon launch. So when I click into a document, it opens in Word, so I can't request a signature. Oh, so Bridget has mentioned that with her, she must have her file preferences to bypass the preview option. So yes, that is something that we are absolutely aware of, Bridget. So we will be hopefully getting that sorted and fixed up in the not too distant future. So apologies for that. The ability to request a signature on a Word document in SuiteFiles is only going to be available right now from the Word document preview. So if we have a look at what that means, is it's on this screen only. So if you're wanting to use SuiteFiles document signing, then you'll need to jump into your user profile settings under your name. So click user profile settings, file preferences, and switch this to switch the open office files and browser option to yes, and then that would give you the ability to request a signature from there. But yes, we are aware of that, and we hope to add the ability for you to still request a signature from perhaps the 3 dots here. So stay tuned for that. Now, Bridget has also asked if there's going to be a recording of the webinar to watch again later. Absolutely. So although a lot of what you've seen today will remain the same in terms of the functionality, we'll be keeping you posted on any updates that we make. Now, make sure that you're subscribed to our newsletter. You probably are, given you are now attending this webinar. You've received that notification, so that's great. Also, stay tuned to our Facebook page for updates to all things SuiteFiles. So if you follow us on Facebook, you'll be sure to hear the latest and greatest news. Okay, so what else do we have here? So with this signature stamp, how do you know who signed it? I can only see the IP address. ideally we need the email address. So you will be able to see the email address. Hopefully you saw that in the More drop down under document signing. If we were to jump into a completed view history, you can see the user email address from within the history there. Hopefully that helps answer your question there. In terms of the signature, it being on the signature stamp itself, I'll definitely check that out with our development team to see if that's something that we would be able to add into the signature stamp. So thanks so much for your feedback there. So lots of clients access their emails on their mobile phone. How much SuiteFiles Connect functionality will clients have using their mobile phone? So thanks, Joseph, for your question. Now, right now, we don't have the ability to support SuiteFiles Connect on a mobile phone. So right now, it is a browser-based tool, preferably within on a desktop computer or laptop. So unfortunately, we don't have the ability to link in with a mobile app. So Chris has asked, with the client login using Xero, can this only be used if the client has an actual Xero subscription, or will it also work if the client has a login set up using Xero Workpapers? So I believe it will be either. So if they have Xero credentials, then they should be able to log in to Connect using their Xero credentials. Tavani has asked, when will we be able to use the new system? So that I know that there's probably a few people that are wanting to jump off the webinar and onto the rest of their day. So what I'll do is I'll just make sure that everyone that's still on the call, thanks for sticking around, make sure that you're aware of what's available. So with SuiteFiles Connect, we've just relaunched our subscription plans. So we have our new plans that are available on the pricing page of our website. Now, the third tier plan is now called Super Suite, and that includes the functionality that you have seen here today. So that's the document signing, the ability to create connected folders and file requests. That is $35 per user per month. So that's for if you're in New Zealand, Australia, US, those currencies are all $35 per user per month. So what we're doing is we are running a special. So SuiteFiles Connect is launching on Monday. As part of that, you will have access to document signing if you don't already. So we are offering the Super Suite package, which is normally $35 per user per month, for a $10 discount. So you'd only pay $25 per user per month for the next 6 months if you sign up by the 30th of September. So if you are interested in that special, then what you'll need to do is jump into your SuiteFiles site. So you'll be able to upgrade your subscription if you're not already on Super Suite. Please note that it's not available on our current Pro plan. While document signing is, Connect will only be available on the Super Suite plan. So if you're keen to get started from Monday when SuiteFiles Connect launches, then all you'll need to do is in SuiteFiles, if you are an admin of your SuiteFiles site, you'll be able to jump into your username from the drop down there. We've introduced the ability to manage your subscription. So all of the management of your SuiteFiles subscription is still held within the management portal, but this will have this is a nice easy way to get into there without having to think about what the URL is to sign into. So once you're in the management portal, just jump into the change subscription type. You can see here that we have the new plans listed. Now everything that I showed you today is available in the Super Suite plan. So select that option there, and we do have a special promo code for you to get that $10 discount. So that is SUPER25. So that's just SUPER 25. If you pop that into the promo code field, then that will ensure that you will get that new special. So hopefully that helps answer that question. So it's launching on Monday, and definitely feel free to enter in that promo code to make use of that discount. Okay, so I'll keep going with the questions. There are still quite a few people sticking around, so that's great. Thank you so much, and I will just carry on answering the questions as they come up. Okay, so we had be able to use it. Can we send multiple documents as one document for signing? So Raj, no, we can't do that right now, but it is something that we are investigating. So we hope to have more news on that in not too distant future. But right now we're just focusing on getting SuiteFiles Connect out to you all. But definitely we do have something in mind for how we might be able to achieve that. So Chris has asked about notifications. So yep, just note that you will receive all of those notifications coming through via email and in the activity feed that I've shown you in the management area. Emma has asked, as well as signing, can you have, for example, 3 payment options with checkboxes, and the client can tick which options they are choosing at the time they sign? Now, that is not something that we have right now. We do have the ability to use checkboxes if you yourself are signing a form. But yeah, that's a really great idea. So I'll pass that one on to our dev team. Marius has asked, will there be an option available to change the sending email from no reply at suitefiles.com to a firm email address? So we don't have that ability right now. It is something that our devs are looking into. So again, hopefully we have more news on that. So taking your feedback on board, thanks Marius. I know that that same thing applies for both document signing as well as Connect. So understand that that's the need there to have your own firm email address coming through. Not too sure what the answer to that is right now, but thank you so much for your feedback there. I've taken it on board. Is SuiteFiles planning on having a facility to automatically download your daily ATO code? And if so, have an automated process allowing time efficiency for sending out to clients? So Travis, as I said, we are just focusing on the SuiteFiles Connect, getting that out the door, making sure that everyone is happy with the functionality that we have here. So yeah, hopefully we will have, again, more news on any work that we're doing to help you with the ATO side of things. So not right now, but we hope to have some updates for you on that in the not too distant future. Okay, so Daniela has asked what is the different pricing packages. So feel free to jump onto suitefiles.com/pricing. Now, your current plans, if you're as you're an existing customer, those current plans that you are on will not change. But if you are interested in taking advantage of the Super Suite plan, then that offer is available to you. We'll be in touch to let you know at what point the current plans that you are on will no longer be available, and you might have to upgrade to a different plan type, but we will definitely be in touch with you in due course. It's not happening immediately, so we will let you know with plenty of time so that you can make a decision as to what you want to do there. Jerry has asked, would the communication support Chinese inputs? Jerry, I do not know the answer to that question, but I can definitely check in with my colleague Tinley, who will be able to definitely answer that, because that is his forte. So I will I'll check that out and let you know. And Jerry has said that his current SharePoint setting doesn't allow external sharing. Should I have to enable it first before sending out a folder invite? Not to my knowledge, but again, I will check that out and let you know. Travis has asked if there is any additional storage as well for the extra $10, for the $10 per month. Oh, so that might be the first plan. Backups isn't, in terms of your storage for SuiteFiles, it just takes on storage that you have in your Office 365 account. As far as I know, that's 1 terabyte for everybody. In terms of the storage limits at the SuiteFiles end, we do have the SuiteFiles Backups product, which you're entitled to as part of the middle and third tier plans. So that's your semi-suite or your super suite plans, or previously known as the full suite and the pro plan. Now, the difference between storage for backups is for the mid-tier plan, you have up to 500 gigabytes. For the third tier plans, you have unlimited data, subject to fair use, of course. But Travis, if you've got any further questions on the storage side of things, then please feel free to flick us a note at support@suitefiles.com. We can definitely help answer your question there as well. Lauren has asked me to repeat the discount code. Not a problem. So that was SUPER25, SUPER25. And someone's asked, will document signing emails have reminders? So yes, we have a 7-day expiry on all documents that go out by default with SuiteFiles document signing. So we send reminders automatically to the recipients on days 3, 4, and 6 if they have not yet signed the document. So someone has asked, where can I find a copy of this recording? So we will, since you registered for this session, we will send out a recording to everyone who registered. So that will be in your inbox by tomorrow morning. Do clients need a separate email address for each user? For example, a husband and wife who only have the one email address, or for their business, etc. So I'm thinking this might relate to document signing maybe rather than the connect side of things, but in terms of people that are sharing an email address, we can't be sure that the person that receives the document to sign is in fact who they say they are. So we don't support the ability to enter in multiple people with the same email address. So that is something that we unfortunately cannot manage right now. Jody has also asked, can we change an email address for a client? So if you have set up an email address for somebody, if that's coming through from Workflow Max or XPM, you'd need to change the email address for them in that area there. If you have invited them to SuiteFiles Connect and they're not yet in and they're not in XPM, or you don't use XPM or Workflow Max, those contact details will be stored in SuiteFiles, and yes, you will be able to embed the email address for them. And Gabrielle has asked, when a Word document is edited, will all of the changes be recorded as an audit trail to see who has changed what? That's a really good question, Gabrielle. I don't know the answer to that off the top of my head. In terms of versioning, version history with Microsoft, because we're using Microsoft products here, that should be recorded as part of the version history. Let me check that and get back to you on that one. Okay, we also have some other chats, which I'll just quickly run through. If you do have to head off, then thank you so much for attending, but we'll just keep going until I've answered all of the questions, and definitely I'm free for more questions if you have any. If you do want to get in touch with anyone of our team at all, then please feel free to get in touch with us via the following details. So that's our email address is support@suitefiles.com. Feel free to drop us a line. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about SuiteFiles and how it all works, then please jump onto help.suitefiles.com. That's our help center. We'll have all of the connect and document signing information up there for you by Monday, so that you can get familiar with it. And as I said, I'll be sending out a recording to everyone as well, and you can always register for our other webinars that we hold weekly. So if you're wanting a refresher, we do have a basics training that's great for new staff to come along to. That's just up on that website there. We have an admin training session. We'll also be introducing connect and document signing webinars if you are needing a bit of a refresher after today as well. Advanced training covers off scanning, setting up email and file templates, and sharing. And finally, we have a Zero Practice Manager Workflow Max integration training session as well. So those are held Monday through Wednesday for all of you who are based here in New Zealand or in Australia. So please do feel free to jump onto the website there and register for those webinars. Okay, so thanks so much for everyone for attending. I am going to keep going with these questions because there's tons, which is great. Now, I think we've already answered that one from Bridget around deleting, so that's fine. Okay, I think we've got maybe some duplicate questions in the chat here, so that's fine. So client uploads, yep, email notifications. Oh, Gabrielle's asked for SMS notifications. The mobile number should be with a +61 and no spaces in a created contact field under the mobile number section next PM. Gabrielle, I will send you the Help Center article just outlining exactly what the mobile phone number format should be. It just needs to have the +61. It doesn't matter if it does have spaces or not, but I think the most important thing is the +61 in your case. And just confirm that the number isn't pulled from the actual client level, but the created contact, it will be from the contact that you're feeding through from Zero Practice Manager. So James has asked, back in the very beginning, when you made a connected file, can the connected client see everything in the client folder or just the files in the connected folder? So that is just those files in the connected folder. So if we jump into that folder there that I created, it's just the contents of this one. So the blue icon indicates that this is the connected folder. So these 3 files are the only thing that my client can see through Connect. So it basically cuts off any access from this folder onwards. They won't even see that this name of the folder you'll have created a display name at your end or at their end for what they see. So you can call it whatever you want for your internal use, and then at their end, for my client's case, they saw Abacus Accounting Connected folder. So you've got a bit of control as to what they see there. Okay, now let's just jump back into those chats. Okay, I think we've done it. Okay, brilliant. If anyone does have any further questions at all, then as I said, feel free to get in touch. support@suitefiles.com is probably the best place to reach us, and feel free to just mention that you attended the webinar today, and we'll be happy to help with any further questions that you have. So thanks everyone so much for attending. I will process this recording and have it up for you so that you can watch that again if you need to. And if you do have any trouble with the functionality, or you have any feedback or just some refresher steps on how to upgrade your account to get access to that from Monday, then feel free to drop us a line and we'll be most happy to help you with that. Thanks so much everyone for attending, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks, everyone. Hey everyone, so I'm going to close off this meeting. So if you do have any questions at all, then feel free to reach out at support@suitefiles.com, and hope you enjoyed the webinar and see you again soon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.